I love finding out about new technology, especially RV related.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello everybody and welcome to Vlogcast episode number 96. My name is Russ.
And I'm Kerry.
And we are the roads we roam. We're a couple living full-time in our Little Guy Max trailer.
And our Little Guy Max trailer is in Sedona for the last day today.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that we're leaving because the area is so pretty. I think you can see behind us in the last couple of videos how gorgeous it is out here in Sedona. But one of the neat things about this lifestyle is that there's always more beauty on the next horizon. And we've discovered that. Many times we've said, oh, I hate to leave this place. Yeah. And then we get to another beautiful site.
Well, there's that little bit of anticipation with me trying to let go of that plan mentality and living more freely. You get a little stressed trying to think, okay, am I going to find another decent spot?
Yeah.
Am I going to find an okay area? And I was a little bit more nervous since we've been caravanning, and I kind of found this spot at first, and we were coming down the road and it was just packed. Yeah. On all the other spaces leading up to this, and I'm sure A and Amanda were like, where is she leading us to?
Yeah.
And I was stressed that it wasn't going to be a good spot. It wound up being fantastic. We even had some other people, Corey and Daniel, come out. We had a great cookout.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a cookout. It was Ace and Amanda's time to cook last night, and they made this really nice meatball and noodle thing. Tonight, Carrie and I are cooking.
Russ is cooking.
And well, yeah, exactly. I'm making my grandmother's spaghetti recipe. It just works out real nice. You know, we had a great dinner. This last night, there were 6 of us sitting around a campfire and just chit-chatting about our experiences and you know, what our future plans are. And Daniel brought up a good point. He said, you know, back in Sticks and Bricks, he was a lot less sociable than he is now. He said one of the things he hated was people would say, what do you do for a living? And he said, you know, I used to just hate that because what does it matter? It has nothing to do with who I am as a person.
True.
Who I am as a person is, you know, what makes me happy. And we've noticed that because we've sat down and talked to people and have just walked away and, boy, I don't even know what they do for a living. Do you? Nope. Sometimes we don't even know their names.
But they're a great person.
Exactly.
They're a great person, and we enjoyed our time with them. And that's really what matters when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and so we just had a great conversation with 6 of us last night. I think all 6 of us have very similar appreciations for this life, and it just worked out well.
You know what what I have figured out is the common question. In place of the what do you do for a living, the most asked question I think is, when or how did you start RVing?
Yeah.
Whether it's full-time or part-time, that seems to be the question that people ask. So if you're not prepared, get that ready in your head because that will be asked. I just had a thought when you were talking about how you're going to make your spaghetti. Now, you made it a long time ago when we were in Tennessee, and we kind of put it a little bit in our video. Yeah. And we'll include, I'm sure, some of it in our video this Saturday. I know we haven't done a lot of camper cooking with Carrie's, so I think if we show us cooking or doing some of our recipes, we'll include the recipes in our notes below on our Saturday videos.
Yeah, or at the very least, we should put them in our blog.
Yes.
So if you see something that if we kind of highlight us making something, chances are we will put that in our blog
from
post.
Here on out.
And we put our blog link in all of our videos, so you can just click that and check out the recipes. Plus, our blog posts tend to be much more inclusive than the videos.
A little more in depth with links.
The videos you can only do so much. So otherwise you have a 2-hour-long video and nobody wants to sit through that long. But you can find a lot of information on our blog, so go ahead and check that out.
One last thing before we move on to the news. We're obviously boondocking, and we did the little baby wipe shower thing. I thought I was tan. I did.
Yeah, until you pull the baby wipe away from your face and it's like tinted red. You're like, oh, okay.
Everything is tinted red. There is going to be a lot of cleaning after we leave this area. Yep. I'm talking even the vents, you know, from the bathroom sucking up the air. during the day.
Careful now.
I'm hitting the tree and it's raining on me. Okay. On to the RV news for this week.
All right.
These are articles that just kind of caught our attention and we thought they were interesting, so we figured you might find them interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to Alaska, right?
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to Denali.
It'd be nice if we can do it. Yeah.
Well, this is something that we should be aware of. Because of global warming, they're saying that the rate of melt is increasing. 66 tons of frozen feces left by climbers over the years
over the last century
is expected to start melting out of the glaciers.
So the reason this is because in the past the National Park Service never required people to pack out their feces, their waste. And now they have started to make that where you have to do that over 14,000 foot. If you're if you're under 14,000 foot, you have to pack it out. If you're over 14,000 foot, they're allowing it to throw into, I think, one crevice. And that's how they used to do it in the past. They'd throw them into deep crevices. But really, they are saying in this article that even if it's 70-year-old poo and it ends up downstream, because really that's what a glacier is. It's an ice river, and stuff does move down and it starts to melt. It's going to be the same as the day that it was dropped, except it's going to be a little more watery. But they were saying they tested it and E. coli is still active in those.
What I thought was really great, before it became mandatory, before they can put through implementations for fines and things like that, the guide companies that lead more than 1,200 climbers every year have voluntarily agreed to start packing up the human waste and bringing it down as well. And so that just shows that they're willing to work.
Well, you've got to protect your resource. Exactly. These guide companies are not going to want, people are not going to want to go hiking in that area if there's all kinds of poo everywhere. So, it does them well. Yeah, I read that article and they were saying 5 of the 6 companies, guide companies, which covers 50% of the people that actually make that climb, have started doing that. And they will do it not only above the 14,000 feet, but below the 14,000. They're packing it in and camping it out. And they showed a picture of a device where you could, it looked like the luggable loo that I have.
I was just going to ask you, do they have the luggable loo that you have, or the double duty bags? Yeah,
it's a different device, but it looks very much like it.
You could give instructions on how to put away their privacy tents, too.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I got it down to 37 seconds now.
Yes, he did. Russ had a very great learning curve, or learning rate on that one. Next, onto the Grand Canyon. A lot of people go there. Real
quick here, I just want to let people, because we just glossed over that last article. We put links in the description as well as our blog.
Yes, we will put links to the stories that we actually read, and so you can get the full detail of the article and the information and the source information.
Yeah, we're just kind of giving you guys an idea of what's out there.
We're giving you the 411.
Yeah, and then you can go read all the stuff.
Exactly. So Grand Canyon. A lot of people go there every year. We went one year with our son, and I remember being so amazed that there were areas that you could just walk right out without the safety guardrails or anything.
Yeah, that was on the Hualapai Indian Reservation. We weren't in the actual national park area, the Grand Canyon. But yeah, and a lot of those areas, the Indian reservations, I forget which rim it was, west, north, south, I don't know. But like Kerry mentioned, you can just walk right up to the edge. And I remember when we were there, I asked the lady, I said, how many people fall a year? Because I would imagine a lot of people do. And they said none where we were at. But this story that you're going to talk about here was about that man from Hong Kong, I think, who was taking pictures and was preoccupied and stumbled and fell off the edge, right?
He just said the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty much the gentleman was taking photos and he stumbled. And you see so many people out there getting so obsessed with taking selfies and being so focused on what's on that screen in front of them that they're not truly paying attention to the area around them. You know, if I were to step back right now, I'd probably trip over the rocks behind me.
Well, that's the thing. Out there, there's no railings. And even if you're 4 or 5 feet away, a simple stumble, if you're looking through the lens of a camera or through your phone, a stumble from 4 feet away could put you over the edge easily. So you got to be very careful when you're out there. When I was in law enforcement and I worked for the Department of Interior Bureau of Reclamation, we used to call it, you know, tourist. I can't remember the actual term we used. Actually, I can remember the term we used, but I can't say it on camera. No, but basically what it was is tourists would leave their heads at home. And I understand that. I get that because you're wrapped up in the moment and you see these amazing things. But just remember to use your brain and really be safe out there, because we'd hate to lose anybody that we know or hear about anybody that we know stumbling and
well,
getting...
This just terrified me, even just thinking about it. They said this gentleman dropped 1,000 feet in the canyon below, but he wasn't the only one. On the other side, of the Grand Canyon, 95 miles east, they found a body in the canyon below, and they're doing an investigation.
Was it from a fall, or?
That's what they believe.
Okay.
So 2 deaths within 1 week. So that got me thinking what you said earlier, how you had asked that woman how that happened. Now in this report, they said more than 318 million people went to national parks last year in 2018. That's a lot. Now that's down from one of the 330 the year before. More than 60 people have fallen to their deaths from the rims of the Grand Canyon since 1925.
That's really not a whole lot when you think about how many people annually go, but really when it comes down to it, one is too many, especially when you're out enjoying and on vacation.
That was our PSA. Well, we have another one too. It's a little warning. On our way back from Moab, on our way from Moab to Las Vegas to go see your grandma, we're thinking of going through Zion. We've never been, and that's really cool. So I was checking that out. A few weeks ago, we had made a comment about the heavy rains that they've had in that area and that wash where it literally took the soil away from the road. Yeah,
the road was still there, but there was nothing underneath it.
They had been able to fashion a way where one-way traffic could go through the area for the last several weeks, but they did put out an announcement starting April 9th. They will be completely shutting down that area for the next 3 weeks from that date so that they can repair the road. We are going to put links down below. They have some alternate routes. So if you're planning on going to see in Zion, especially April 20th, I think the 24th or 25th is National Park Week, where a lot of the national parks are offering free admittance. So a lot of people will be going to these places. That road will be shut down during that time frame. So check the information below so that way you can plan your route accordingly.
Yep.
This one, I love finding out about new technology, especially RV related. There is something that Keystone has been working on, I believe, called Loadsafe.
Yeah.
And this is really interesting since we just went through the whole Smart Weigh program through Escapees, getting our rig weighed so that we knew how much we weighed, whether we were in our proper weight range to travel safely on the road. I know that there's ways you can do it at those highway scales or the different...
Yeah, but it's really, it's so difficult.
I'd be too nervous to go do it.
Yeah, not only that, you're just taking up a lot of time. Because you've got to weigh the truck. Then you've got to weigh the trailer. Then you've got to weigh the truck and the trailer. It's hitch, unhitch, that sort of thing. So it really is difficult to do. But what Keystone has come up with is a way that you can weigh the trailer, gives you all those weights. It gives you the axle weights of each axle if you have 2 axles on there. It's just fantastic. And I think it's very forward thinking of Keystone to do this. We waited, how many months have we been on the road? Since October to get this done.
Well, it was the first environment that I felt comfortable that I could go there and just say, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you walk us through this?
Yep.
And they did our weight. This would allow you, as you get your vehicle and you're at home and you're loading up all your stuff, you can see real time what your vehicle weighs, how much you're putting on each axle. They've been in development on this for like 4 years, I think they said. But I would definitely choose an RV that had that type of technology in it. That way you could always be in the know.
Yeah, it's a great feature. Like I said, we waited many months until we felt comfortable enough to get ours weighed. And like Kerry brought up, it's very neat because if you're close, you can tell as you're weighing, as you're loading, what that weight is, and you can also tell how to maybe reposition stuff. Oh, you've got too much weight, because it'll even tell you the pin weight up front, you know, on your tongue. So it's a fantastic idea. We'll put a video link to the video below, as well as the article.
It's a short article, so I would suggest watch the video interview, and they actually talk with the technicians and the developers that created this technology. So I really am excited about that. If you have any news that you've heard of, send it our way. We'd love to share it with other people. And we are going to hit the road. We are on our way towards Moab. We're not going to get there just yet, but we'll be there by Friday.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. That's all we have for now. If you have any tips, questions, concerns, please send them to us. You can leave a comment below, and there's also multiple other ways you can get a hold of us.
Go to our site at theroadsweroam.com, click on that contact page, or you can click on the orange tab on any of the pages on that site where you can leave an audio voicemail. You can get a hold of us as well on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. And please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe. That's all for now. We will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.